Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. We have Page Dr. Paul. He's joining us once again, Chief Executive Officer and Medical Officer of Health. And interesting, you should have been on our couch last week when we started to see all of the headlines coming through about the junk food and the taxes and the childhood obesity. This was something that your organization was actually a part of.
Yes, the Medical Officers of Health and the Association of Local Public Health Agencies, of which I'm the president actually, submitted recommendations to the Healthy Kids panel. As you know, one of the mandates of public health units is really chronic disease prevention, and childhood obesity is on our radar big time, and we understand the implications and so on. And I also did my thesis on childhood obesity, and it's not an easy solution because there's multiple causes and they have to do with society and policy and so on. But the three major sort of areas of recommendations that the group came up with were really, early intervention, which means breastfeeding and teaching kids skills and exercise at an early age. And promoting that, because I think that's the key to longevity and to healthy longevity. The second one was like a proper food environment, and that's why they talked about junk food tax and making healthy foods accessible. Again, easier said than done. It's costly to eat the 5 vegetables a day and so on. So those are things that policy. And the other one really is building healthy communities. And so building healthy communities accessible to walking, bicycling, getting kids used to walking to school and so on. So all of these things, as you can see, have changed over the last 20 or 30 years. You and I, we talked about it before. We had gym at school, I know that.
Well, you just listed these three things. And so coming to you as a parent of young kids, I'm looking at all of those three pillars that you just talked about and have the argument as to why it's become so difficult for you, because you talked about active kids and healthy life. So, and you said this was part of your thesis when you were studying as to what happened to why are the kids not doing physical fitness and health within their school systems, getting in that 30 minutes of exercise and then at least introducing them to sports so that there's a chance that they would stay with them as they're heading into the middle school, high school years as well.
And that's no question. That's really promoting at an early age healthy, active living type of lifestyle. I think it's more complicated than that. There are other things that have intervened in the last 20 or 30 years. For example, in New York City, in Harlem, for example, the kids can't go out and play because there's gangs and it's dangerous. So there's a whole slew of environmental issues, and I'm talking non-toxic environmental, sort of the societal environmental issues that are there. But on the other hand, and also the advent of technology, with the advent of computer use and behind the screen use, we see rates of obesity have gone up. So in other words, we're stealing away from the time these kids can run and play. And at the same time, the schools are not offering it, I understand.
The schools aren't offering it, and then you're talking about getting the children out to get out and play, but if they don't have the adult supervision, then the parents are considered to be not good parents because we are not next to our children at all times watching them bike around the neighborhood. And so it's like this vicious circle.
It's a vicious cycle. You're scared to send your child out alone. Those type of things. Not you, not yourself.
Well, I'm scared of public opinion as to what they would think of if I'm letting my child ride around the neighborhood on their own. And so I find that we're dealing with a lot of things. The other one came back to, of course, was the junk food. And so what's your opinion on that?
Well, my opinion is that our kids eat fast food, which is fat food, out of convenience. And I think that it starts at home. It starts at the parents, looking at their own sort of rituals of what to do. I would promote decreasing, eating fast food, whether or not it's taxed or not. That's kind of a habit that you need to form. The other thing that you can do as a parent really is try to spend time together eating or preparing meals together. Families that eat together tend to eat more nutritious meals, less fat meals, and actually tend to have less obese kids. And so those are the things that you can do. Obviously, there's marketing and there's all the things that are beyond my purview and your purview that have to do with policy and taxing and so on. But beyond that, there's stuff that parents can do, starting at an early age, fostering those good habits, perhaps trying to encourage your kids to have daily activity at an early age. Again, fostering eating habits and so on. Working with your school, perhaps working with community to try to get safe areas or areas of opportunity for them. And then finally, like I said, being a good example, I think, is the most important thing as well. And it's harder, it's easier said than done.
It really is, and I honestly feel like we could have an hour show on this rather than a Paging Dr. Paul segment. More information, drpaul.ca. Of course, you can check out also the eohu.ca website in terms of what's happening with public health and what's happening on their websites if you're looking for more information. Thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick break. It's already 8 o'clock. We'll have your headlines coming your way right after this.